Hey loves, it's Chellbee, and if this is your first time here, welcome, and if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. You know I love you. I am here again like I am every other Thursday, sharing another video that is inspired by my faith journey, and today I am sharing with you how I Bible study. So you will see that I have my cell phone here and my Bible out, as well as my my soap printable, which you can find in my Etsy shop. I'll make sure to put the link below. But I typically, so I do a few different things. So typically I'll start by reading my Bible in the ESV version. Sometimes I'll read it on my phone. Sometimes I'll read it out of the physical Bible. It just depends on if I have the kids. So I'll read that. I usually just read several, verses. I stop whenever I feel comfortable stopping. I don't force myself to read a set amount. I typically read a book at a time. So I'll link my Bible study tips for a beginner's video because I'm not going to go over all of that stuff today. But so you'll see I'm just sitting there and I'm reading. I've actually already read this version in my Bible, in the ESV Bible. And then I read it also on my Bible app. And I'll link the different apps in the description box. But now I'm reading it in the voice version. And then once I've read it in the voice version, sometimes if I still am looking for more understanding, I'll also read it in the Message translation. So I'll read it in several different translations. And then if there's any words that stuck out to me that I just felt like I didn't understand, or if I'm just curious of, what the definition is, or, what it may mean, or just want to know maybe the original word in Hebrew or Greek, I'll go ahead and I'll look at the Strong's definition using the interlineary. I don't think I'm going to get that correct. I'll go ahead and look that up with the, I think it's called Blue Bible, something like that. I'll make sure to put all the apps that I use below, but I'll use that to look up definitions and see the Strong's definitions and see the origin of the word in Greek or Hebrew, depending on which book I'm in. And just to dive a little bit deeper, I'll often go ahead and open up my English Standard Version Study Bible, which I have the physical version, but I also do have the ebook, because again, with the kids, I don't like to have my Bibles out, because I don't want my pages getting torn up. So a lot of times, if I have time, usually I make time, but anyways, so oftentimes I'll read the study notes from my English study. I'll read the study notes from my ESV study Bible as well. And this way I'm trying to basically cover all the bases. I want to know what the different words mean that I read during the verses that I've read. I want to, look at it in different translations to see if I glean any different understanding from it. And then I also go ahead and look at what basically the study Bible basically tells you what the scholars have to say about whatever you read. So then I'll go and read what the scholars have to say about, the verses that I've read. And then once I've done all of that, I've cross-referenced the passages that I've read half to death. Then I'll go ahead and I will do my journaling. So typically I do my journaling in my faith journal, which is like a bound journal that I usually write in. But I also have like a faith journal that's a printable journal that I did use for this video, just for the sake of this video, honestly. I prefer to have all my notes in my bound journal because I like to be able to go back and reference my notes. That's why I like to have like a specific journal just for Bible study, because I like being able to go back and reference my notes. And a lot of times, even when I'm rereading passages, I might find that I had a different note or a different lesson, or, there might be a different observation that I noticed, that stood out a little bit differently than when I originally read it. So I just like having all my notes in one place. I mean, I've written in like 4 of my faith journals at this point. So obviously I've I have a lot of notes, but I just like having them bound together in one place. That is also important to me. So I do like that, and I recommend that if you are comfortable having a bound notebook, or if you prefer to have your notes in like a spiral bound notebook, or like a 3-hole punch notebook, then that's fine. But definitely try to keep everything in one place so you can reference it back. You never know when you might want to just reread some of the stuff that you've read. And obviously, my notes that I take by hand are going to be a lot more detailed than anything that I write in my physical Bible. So I definitely recommend keeping all of your notes in one place. So here you can see I'm just going ahead and writing the scriptures that stood out to me, as well as going ahead and writing, what my observations were when I read that verse. I do use the SOAP method when I Bible study. So I write the scripture that stood out to me, my observations, and then how I feel like it applies to my life. And then the last part is prayer. I always try to go ahead and write a prayer each time I Bible study. And so that is what you see me doing here. If you are new to Bible studying, I highly recommend watching my Bible study tips video. It's Bible study tips for beginners from a beginner. And it just goes over some of the major things that I learned in my journey of Bible studying independently. And it's literally from when I first started Bible studying. So I think it's definitely helpful if you're new to Bible studying. The other thing is I definitely want to make sure you check out the description box, because I have linked the different apps that I use. I typically use 3 apps. So I use the YouVersion app. That's where I can read my ESV translation, and they also have the message translation. And then I also use the Blue Letter app, and that's where I'm able to see the Strong's definitions. And then in addition to that, I also use what is the last one called? Let's see. So many apps. I also use the Bible Gateway app, and that app actually has the voice translation, and that is the only app. That's the only app that has the voice translation, or that I found that has the voice translation. And I do like reading in the different translations. I like seeing what the different scholars, have written. I do, you will notice that there'll be variations in what's said in the different translations. So I definitely find it helpful to see the different translations, and just to see the differences. That it helps me to get a better understanding of what I read. The biggest thing that I've taken away most recently, and what I've changed in my Bible study routine, which has been to start defining the words, is really taking the time to look up those words that are not familiar to you, or that you see being used repeatedly. It really can change the observations in the way that you apply what you read. So, I would suggest, if you are new to Bible studying and maybe you're like me and you don't have a lot of time because, you're working and you have kids and all that good stuff, then, read less verses. That's basically what I do. Sometimes I might only read 2 verses a day. Sometimes I might read 4. It really just depends on how much time I have, as well as what I've read. If the 2 verses sorry, my voice just wants to go out so bad. If the 2 verses I read are jam full of information, then I'm fine with stopping there, So just make changes and alter your routine however you need to, so that you can make sure when you do Bible study that it's impactful, that you really take the time to, learn the information, learn the word, and really, throw yourself all the way into it, and really commit yourself to, not necessarily being a scholar, but really being a student of the word. I guess is the word I'm searching for. That's something that I strive to do, is really commit to being a student of the word and learning from God and allowing him to instruct me. And so that's why I try to take the time to really break apart and break down the word and try to make sure that I'm not pulling or summarizing or making observations that aren't there. And so I do like to look up the different things for that reason, as well as obviously praying before you get started with Bible studying and asking God to help your discernment and help open the word and open your heart so that you can receive whatever lesson it is that he wants to show to you. But I've gone on for long enough. I hope you guys enjoyed this Bible study tips video, and I hope you're liking this new format. It's really interesting and different for me to do Bible study videos and not be in front of the camera, but I am not gonna tell any stories. I really like doing the voiceovers and being able to kind of just sit down and think through what I want to say instead of being in front of the camera. And I like doing these type of videos. So please let me know your thoughts. And if you like these type of videos, please make sure to give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please do hit that subscribe button and come back for more videos. All right. Until next time, you guys, be blessed and stay safe. Bye.